Hey, where the heck did you go? What are you doing?
I'm really sorry. My mom suddenly collapsed. I'm heading to the hospital in a taxi right now. I'm really sorry I couldn't text you earlier about it.
You really have the nerve to do this, huh? Embarrassing me and Amy like this? How dare you do this to us? How can you just run out of the wedding hall like that in front of everyone? As the bride's sister-in-law, you can't just do this. Do you know what they're saying about us now? Your behavior is absolutely unacceptable.
I'm really sorry, but there was no way I could stay any longer. I honestly had no choice but to go. Please, you need to understand this. Mom has always had chronic illnesses, and this time it seems like her life might even be in danger.
Oh my God, would you shut up about it? Get back here right now.
What are you saying? I just told you I can't. I have to go to my mom right now.
I don't care about your mom. You're not going to embarrass my little sister at her own wedding. You think I would forgive you? My speech is coming up next. Then there's the cake. You better be there.
I'm so sorry, but I really can't. Of course, I want to be there with you. I want to participate in the wedding. But this is my own mother we're talking about here. She needs me right now. I have to go to her.
Would you shut up about your mom already? Listen, I didn't give you permission to leave. Do you understand? Enough with your excuses already. Get back here right now. I want you to apologize to everyone.
Why? Why are you being like this? My mother's life is in danger right now, and you're acting this cruel to me?
You destroyed the entire reception by running out of the hall suddenly. Do you have any idea what you just did? Have you forgotten that I come from a highly respectable family? Do you understand who you're married to? We're not some average family that'll tolerate your crass behavior. Have I made myself clear? I want you to get down on your knees and beg for forgiveness from everyone, especially from Amy and me. Anything less than that will not be accepted.
Wait, are you being serious? This is just. I don't understand why you're being like this right now. It's not about whether I wanted to stay or go. That's not even the point. The point is that I had no choice.
You had no choice. Oh, really now? You're trying to talk back to me? I'm so tired of you using your mom's illness as an excuse to do whatever the heck you want. Just because your mom is sick doesn't mean you have a free pass.
An excuse? How am I using her as an excuse? It's the honest truth, and you know that. Plus, all I did was leave the reception. Please, stop doing this to me. All I can think of is my mom right now. I can't handle anything else. Aren't you on good terms with my mom, Edward? Then why are you being like this right now?
Because you left me with no choice. I pretended to be nice to your mom, but I didn't enjoy it for a single second. Wait, you really thought I actually enjoyed her company? What a joke.
But you two spent time together. She even gave you a birthday gift that year.
Why did your mother collapse?
I heard it was a stroke.
She'll probably die then. No one's surprised. With her smoking habits and illnesses combined, there's no way the doctors can save her. You could throw the best doctors in the world at her, and she'll probably die.
You're unbelievable. How can you say something like that?
Just leave her be already. You can go and take care of her stuff after she dies. It's not that big of a deal. People die all the time. She's just another person in this world. That's why I'm here focusing on the reception instead.
Have you gone absolutely insane? What kind of nerve do you have to say such a thing? I've always thought you lacked a bit of kindness for others, but to go this far.
I don't want to hear that coming from you. Who gives you the right to criticize your own husband? I better see your face back here immediately. Do you hear me, woman?
I'm sorry. I'm almost at the hospital. I'll talk to you later.
You better not turn off the phone. Do you hear me? Hey, are you listening to me? Get back here.
Christina, how is your mother doing now?
Oh, Shirley, thank you for your concern. She's in stable condition now. I have to stay with her at the hospital for now, so it might be a while before I'm able to return. Even though she's stable, I can't let my guard down just yet.
I see. I'm glad to hear that she's doing all right. It must have been terrifying for you.
Thank you so much for your kind words. I really appreciate it. I'm so sorry that I had to leave your daughter's reception suddenly like that. I honestly didn't mean to cause a scene.
I wanted to ask you about you and Edward. What's the situation between you two now? Edward seemed to be extremely angry at you. I tried asking him, but he refused to talk to me. It made me really concerned. Something very bad must have happened, right? Please tell me. I'm here to listen.
Oh, that's fine. Really? He was just upset over the fact that I suddenly had to leave.
I understand, but please tell me about the details of what happened. I want to know why Edward would be angered to that point. Something else must have happened for him to react in such an extreme way.
But really, though, that's all that happened. He simply got angry over the fact that I left the reception.
Are you serious right now? That's really it.
I'd like to send you screenshots of our conversation if you want to see them. Perhaps if you see for yourself, then you'll have a better idea of what happened.
All right, please do then. I would like to read his messages. Are these messages really from my son?
Yes, unfortunately. These were all the messages he sent me from the past couple of hours.
This is very hard to swallow. Of course, you would go to your mother's side when she collapsed. There's simply no argument about it. Why is he getting so worked up over your attendance?
I agree. But Edward wouldn't accept the fact that I acted on my own without letting him know in advance. To be honest, he's always like this. I can't do anything without his permission. I want to be able to do things on my own, but
So, Edward was this kind of man to you. To think that my own son would act like this. I'm so sorry. I thought that you had done something wrong to him. I shouldn't have blamed you in the back of my mind without hearing the entire story.
no, please don't blame yourself. It's only natural to assume your son is innocent. For a long time, I had no choice but to come and accept his behavior. But now that we finally have this moment to speak to each other, I need to tell you something.
Of course, you can tell me anything.
I am thinking about getting a divorce. I'm sure you can see the reason why. He's always had a hint of this in him, but he's been treating me like this a lot more recently. I've tried my best to hold it in, but today I've really hit a wall. I can't do this anymore.
I see. If that's really the case, then it's completely understandable to feel the way that you do. It's really unfortunate that things turned out to be this way, but I wouldn't want you to stay in this situation for any longer either.
Thank you for understanding. There's also another thing that I've been meaning to tell you about too. Edward is actually unemployed right now.
Excuse me, did I read that correctly? He's unemployed?
About half a year ago, his company began downsizing and laid off a bunch of employees. But since then, he still hasn't found a new job. He told me not to tell anyone about this, but I can't keep quiet about this anymore. He hasn't tried to look for jobs at all. It's so hard to stand by and watch him.
If he's been unemployed for half a year, then who's been paying for all the living expenses?
I've been supporting the two of us. Luckily, we don't have any children, so it's been somewhat manageable, but I'm barely scraping by at this rate.
So, you're telling me that Edward has been staying at home this entire time doing nothing? He hasn't tried to find a job at all. Not even once.
Edward told me that it was a good opportunity for him to finally get some rest after he got laid off. His original plan was to take a break from work for about a month. He said he was really tired, but the more he rests, the less he wants to get up and go back to work. He keeps saying that it's annoying trying to find jobs. Before I knew it, Half a year had passed already. I kept waiting and waiting, and yet he just wouldn't try.
You're telling me he refused to find a new job and on top of that, treated you like that? This is simply unbelievable. I'm shocked.
Edward has been watching a lot of YouTube personalities in his time off. He strongly believes that men should dominate women. Anything and everything he does or says is acceptable. He says it's only right for the wife to help her husband when he's in need. He believes it's my duty, and so it's justified in his mind.
I'm so sorry this is happening to you. I'm speechless right now. I can't believe he would do such a thing. To think that my own son would treat his own wife like this. I truly have no excuses for him. I feel like I've also let you down by not realizing this earlier.
Please don't blame yourself. He never showed this side to anyone else but me in private. There's no way you would have known. He's great at deceiving people. Even I was deceived in the beginning of our relationship.
I will think carefully about how to approach Edward. Please give me some time. Also, may I go and see your mother? I would like to pay her a visit at the hospital and see how she's doing.
Of course, please do. I'm sure my mother would be happy to see you too.
The reception ended, and I still don't see your face here. Do you understand what that means? You're an absolute disgrace to your own husband. Do you have any respect for me? Are you trying to humiliate me?
I'm not trying to humiliate you. Please, stop trying to play the victim card already.
What did you just say to me? Me playing the victim? Everyone's looking down on me because my dumb wife ran off to God knows where. You think I deserve to be treated like this?
Even if that were the case, can't you see that my mom just had a medical emergency? I don't really have much of a choice. Do you even understand this basic principle? How old are you again? How are you a grown man who can't even understand this basic principle? How old are you again?
How dare you speak to me like that, woman? It looks like you haven't reflected at all on your actions. What am I going to do with you?
What kind of actions should I even be reflecting on? How have I wronged you?
I don't care if your mom is dying of a stroke or whatever. You're not allowed to miss my sister's wedding. Do you understand? If you don't get back here immediately, then you can get out of my house.
Glad you finally mentioned it. I'm already planning on doing that.
What? Now hold on a second. What are you talking about now?
I want a divorce. I already decided before the wedding even started. I don't want to stay with a childish man like you any longer. You're acting all high and mighty as if you're the center of the universe.
Who do you think you're talking to, huh? I'm your husband.
Yes, that's exactly right. I'm talking to you, so you better listen to me carefully. I'm getting a divorce. Do you understand what that means, divorce? Do I need to spell it out for you?
Are you being serious? You think this is a good idea?
Absolutely, without a doubt in my mind.
You sure? You really sure about this?
100. I refuse to spend another single second with you.
Yeah, stop pretending to be all tough and get your butt back here already. Let's talk about this. There's no need to make such rash decisions. You're too emotional. You really need to learn how to calm down and control yourself.
I'm extremely calm right now. I'm filing for a divorce, and that's final. I'm not pretending to be tough. I've been thinking about this day for a long time. I've prepared all the documents already.
What? If you get a divorce, you're gonna be in big trouble, you know?
Me? In trouble? I think the person you're thinking of is you, actually. It's hilarious how, just a second ago, you were telling me to be calm when, in reality, I know you're sweating bullets right now.
Me? I'm perfectly fine. You think this bothers me?
You've been unemployed for half a year. You have no savings left. You've been living off my income this entire time. I've had to deal with your ungrateful, freeloading, useless piece of trash.
I'll make you regret this. You think I'd let you off easy with everything you've done today? Oh, you better wait.
I'm not insulting you. I'm telling you the truth. The truth that I've seen with my own two eyes and had to deal with for the past 6 months. Anyways, I'm gonna file those divorce papers with my lawyer.
God, woman, look at this mess you've created.
Also, you told me to get out of your house, right? I'd like to remind you that I'm the one who's paying for all the expenses. If you want to come and pick up your stuff, you're welcome to. I'll be throwing everything away otherwise.
Are you sure you want to get a divorce? You've made up your mind already? If you leave me, then you'll be leaving behind my side of the family too, you know. And you know my family is important, right?
How many times do you want me to repeat myself? Divorcing you. You're an overgrown, pathetic man-child. Truly.
I tried to offer you kindness and a chance to come back, but that's on you if you don't want to take it. You'll definitely regret this. I'm going to tell my parents everything you've done. Can you handle my parents' anger?
Running to your mommy and daddy now that you can't have your way? I don't care what you say to them. Do whatever the heck you want.
You worthless, ungrateful woman. How dare you talk to me like that? I'll make you regret this. I'll show you what it feels like.
And how do you propose on doing that exactly, Edward?
What? Mom? Is that you?
Would you like to explain to me why you think that I would punish Christina? I have no intention of ever doing that. Of course your father feels the same way.
No, you've got it wrong. I was just messing around. It's not like I really meant it that way.
Good. Then I assume you also accept the divorce?
Yeah. If that's what Christina wants, then I'll go with it. So then, Mom, is it okay if I move back in with you guys for a bit? I was thinking about coming back home.
You want to move back in with us? Why? I think it's better for you to live by yourself. It's only natural that you need your own space at your age.
I mean, yeah, I do want to find my own apartment, but it's not like I can find one that fast. I was thinking about staying with you guys until I find one. I don't have anywhere else to stay in the meantime. It'll just be a temporary thing.
You said you have an apartment right now with Christina. In fact, you repeatedly said it was your place. So why don't you stay there instead? Of course, you've been paying for the rent every month, correct? After all, that's the right thing to do.
Yes, of course. I've been paying every month.
Of course. Considering how often you talk down to Christina, you must be the head of the household. I shouldn't expect any less from you. I'm sure you must be pulling your weight, right? There's no way my own son would be freeloading off his wife while treating her in such a despicable fashion, right?
Mom, it's not like that. There's been a misunderstanding, you see. Let me try to clear things up for you.
Please, Edward, you can just stop now. I don't want to hear any more of your excuses. I've had enough already. You are absolutely not welcome in my house. Figure things out for yourself.
What? Mom, I can't do that though. That's gonna be really hard on me.
I don't care how difficult it is for you. You're out of the family from this day forward.
What? You're disowning me.
Today, your father and I discovered who you really are. We discussed this with the whole family and came to a conclusion. We all unanimously agreed to disown you. You are no longer welcome in this family. This is our final decision on the matter.
Wait a second, Mom. You can't do that to me. I'm your son. Please don't kick me out of the family. Don't abandon me.
I want nothing to do with someone who treats women the way you do. Your disrespect for women means you disrespect me. I can't believe you also lied about your employment this entire time. I'm beyond disappointed in you. The least you could do for us is to remove yourself from this family.
No, please, Mom. Let me stay. I'm begging you. You can't do this to me. How am I going to survive? How will I live? Don't you care about me?
I hope you understand what you've done now. Even your own mom doesn't want to save you. No one does.
Christina? Where did Mom go?
She said she doesn't want to speak to you anymore. She will never contact you again. Your dad and your sister also want nothing to do with you. They've blocked you everywhere.
I don't care if they've blocked me. I'm going over there right now. I'll get on my knees and beg them for forgiveness. That'll be enough, right?
You don't even know where the hospital is, and yet you say you want to come here.
Tell me. I need to apologize to you too. I know I did some bad stuff.
What do you want to apologize about to me?
Huh? I mean, I said some pretty terrible things to you about you leaving the wedding ceremony, right? And I'm sorry about being mean to you and freeloading off you. I was wrong.
Shouldn't you be apologizing to my mom instead?
What? Why should I apologize to your mom?
You told me to leave her behind because she wasn't an important family member. You said you didn't care if she died or not. You showed absolutely no sympathy for me or her. Don't you think it would make sense to apologize about this?
Well, I mean, yeah. I'll apologize for all that stuff too.
But it's obvious you're saying all of this just to save yourself. In the end, you can't think of anyone else but yourself. How dare you say all of those things about my mother? She's my mother.
I said I'm sorry.
You're not sincere at all. Whatever. I'm tired of this. Don't contact me ever again. Don't even try to come back to the house either. I'm throwing away everything you own.
You can't kick me out like this. How am I supposed to live? Are you going to let me die?
Oh, I see. Well, just like you said, I'll come and handle it after you die then. After that, Edward was ostracized from the family and became completely alone. With no job and savings, he struggled to fend for himself. His pride, however, wouldn't allow him to accept homelessness. One day, he crawled back to his parents' house and bawled his eyes out, begging for help. His father, strict as ever, rained angry words down on him and forbade him to set foot on the property ever again. From that day onward, Edward never tried to go near his parents' house. I was worried that he would try to come back to my apartment and ask for help. But his father's words struck fear in him, so he never attempted to go near my apartment either. Edward was truly a pathetic and cowardly man. Honestly, I still can't believe I listened to him for all these years. A husband and wife should always be equal and treat each other fairly.